Sidharth Luthra, to you first. Do you believe this was an ill-conceived or misconceived petition in some manner, that you go to the Supreme Court almost like a fishing expedition, hoping to get some relief rather than going with a concrete case? Was it enough for the opposition to claim that because 95% of the cases registered by the CBI since 24 and the ED since 2014 have to do with opposition netas, that's proof that the opposition is being targeted?
So I'll put it to you simply. I don't think you can say that the number of cases have gone up. The question is the merits of each case. If you feel that there are cases which are malified, which are without substance, you should go for them specifically. I think the larger issue which ought to be addressed, and for whatever reason, I'm not a political person, but for whatever reason, the political party said they were being targeted. What we need to focus is, are citizens' rights being curtailed? Had they gone there as representatives of the people and given illustrative evidences with illustrated cases with material to say that individuals' rights are being curtailed by investigating agencies, and that has two parts. One, the kind of legislations we have brought over the last few decades. B, remember this is, even PMLA is a 20-year-old law effectively. Secondly, the nature of powers that we've given. Third, the lack of judicial oversight. Now all of these create a cocktail, a heady cocktail, where investigators are going to use their powers, and they're going to use them excessively because there is no real supervision on them. Add to the fact that the Supreme Court judgment, which is in review, has created only a very small window for being let out of a PMLA prosecution, but largely it has accepted the government stand, though the money bill issue is still pending. So if you take all of this together, the issue is really that citizens' rights are being curtailed, presumption of innocence is being done away with, as also the fact that there's a reverse burden of proof on the individual. And that's a good case to be made out. And
but that is already a separate, Mr. Luthra, there's already a separate case challenging the Prevention of Money Laundering Act.
I'm not on the money laundering. I'm saying every legislation that you brought in the domain of criminal law, Companies Act, others, these are challenges are pending, but go and point out special instances of abuse and say why this needs to change and why the law is to be interpreted in a manner, or the law is to be struck down because of the kind of kind of arbitrariness in it. Now, it's not just about one law. You should have done this legislation by legislation. PMLA, of course, is pending. Legislation by legislation, giving specific instances and pointing out legally how there's manifest arbitrariness in all these laws. That was the case to be made out. If you go as political parties, it is seen, and if the court entertains such a plea, unless specific instances are made out, it's going to be seen as if the court is taking side, and the court's job is to adjudicate, not to be seen as playing on one side or the other, and that's the function. And therefore, I think this petition in that sense was totally ill-fated.